Chosen one. You did not click this by chance. Heaven scheduled this moment and aligned your spirit to hear what your mind has been trying to ignore. Anointed one. There is a holy pressure in the atmosphere because you are standing on the edge of a supernatural financial breakthrough, an unexpected door, a divine wealth transfer provision with your name on it. Do not rush past this. Be still for one breath and let peace settle your heart. What has been hidden is about to be revealed, and what has been delayed is about to move. No weapon formed against you will prosper because God is establishing you in purpose, favor, and increase. Chosen one. When the veil starts lifting, it doesn't feel gentle at first. It feels like weight. Like the air in the room got thicker. Like your spirit is picking up signals your mind can't explain. And that's why you've been feeling those strange pauses, those awkward silences, those moments where you walk in and the temperature shifts. You didn't imagine it. You didn't overthink it. You discerned it. Anointed one, hear me clearly. Many eyes are watching you, and it isn't because you're seeking attention. It's because the hand of God is on your life, and what's on you is starting to show. When heaven marks someone, that mark becomes visible in ways people can't articulate. They don't know how to describe it, so they stare. They don't know how to handle it, so they talk. They don't know how to honor it, so they compare. And here's the part. Most people don't understand sometimes the loudest watchers are the closest ones. Not a stranger, not an enemy who announced themselves, but a familiar face who learned your patterns, who studied your tone, who noticed what makes you shine. And instead of celebrating, they started calculating. They started measuring your life against their own life. They started collecting details not to protect you, but to keep a story alive behind your back. Chosen one. This is why it's felt personal. Because it is. You gave someone access. You trusted their smile. You assumed their silence was loyalty, but heaven sees what you couldn't see, and heaven is stepping in now, not to embarrass anyone, but to rescue you from confusion. God is not exposing to destroy. He is exposing to align. And I need you to catch this. This isn't happening just to reveal who's watching. It's happening because you are walking into a season where what you carry will require new boundaries, new wisdom, and a stronger spirit. You are approaching a supernatural shift, and shifts always attract attention. When promotion is near, observation increases. When divine favor begins to rest heavier, the room gets quieter. When God prepares a table for you, there will be people watching you eat. Anointed one. Your financial breakthrough is not a fantasy. It's not wishful thinking. It's the pattern of divine timing. There are moments where heaven rearranges resources, where God moves you from barely to overflow, from almost to suddenly, from struggle to stability. And when that kind of transfer approaches, it's not uncommon for God to also reveal who has hidden access to your life, because what's coming needs protection. So let me speak to the anxiety you've been carrying, that tightness in your chest when you scroll, that uneasy feeling when you post, that urge to explain yourself before anyone even asks. Chosen one, you don't have to perform your purity. You don't have to prove your calling. You don't have to defend your destiny. You are allowed to be quiet and still be powerful. You are allowed to step back and still be chosen. Because what's happening right now is bigger than social dynamics. It's spiritual. Some of the eyes watching you are curious. Some are admiring. Some are jealous. And some are confused because your rise confronts what they avoided in themselves. Your consistency exposes their excuses. Your peace irritates their chaos. Your discipline highlights their delay. And here's the holy instruction: don't get distracted by the watchers. Do not become reactive. Do not become bitter. Do not start shrinking your light to make insecure people comfortable. This is not the time to dim. This is the time to anchor. Chosen one. If you've been sensing that something is about to happen, you're right. But it won't happen through panic. It will happen through alignment, through obedience in small things, through stewardship, through discernment, through the kind of calm that doesn't come from circumstance, only from knowing God is ahead of you. And yes, the watchers will be shocked by what unfolds next. But listen, so will you. Because the same God who shields you is also elevating you. No weapon formed against you will prosper, and that includes the quiet ones disguised as friends. Stay with me, anointed one, because in the next part, I'm going to show you what to do when the eyes get closer, the whispers get louder, and the breakthrough starts moving from prophecy into proof. Chosen one. Let's go deeper, because the moment the attention increases, the temptation is to start living for the room, to start adjusting your tone, your pace, your personality, just to survive the stairs. But I'm telling you now, Anointed One this season is not about surviving people. It's about surrendering to God while people watch. When many eyes are on you, the first thing heaven tests is your center. Not your talent, not your image, your center. Will you stay rooted when the atmosphere shifts? Will you keep your peace when the whispers begin? Will you remain obedient even when you can feel the pressure of being studied? I've lived through this, chosen one. I remember seasons where I couldn't explain why certain conversations stopped when I walked in. I'd laugh it off, but inside I felt that invisible tension. I'd catch someone staring a little too long, then suddenly looking away like they got caught reading something sacred. I'd tell myself I was imagining it. I'd try to shrink it down so it wouldn't feel so heavy. But later I learned something. What I called overthinking was often discernment knocking. There were moments I posted something simple, nothing flashy, nothing dramatic, and it would trigger reactions I didn't expect. People I hadn't spoken to in months suddenly appeared. People who never supported me suddenly had questions. People who acted indifferent suddenly became invested. And I realized the issue wasn't what I posted. The issue was what the post proved: that I was still standing, still rising, still becoming. Chosen one. The watchers don't just watch your wins, they watch your recovery. They watch how quickly you bounce back. They watch whether you collapse under pressure or grow through it. And that's why this is spiritual, because the enemy doesn't always attack with obvious weapons. Sometimes it attacks through observation, through intimidation, through social pressure, through silent surveillance, meant to make you self-conscious and unstable. But hear this: your life is not a performance. Your calling is not a debate. Your destiny is not a group project. Anointed one. The reason this is intensifying now is because heaven is moving you into a new level of visibility, whether you asked for it or not. And visibility comes with a price. You have to stop needing to be understood by people who were never assigned to your journey. Let me say it plainly: some of the eyes watching you are waiting for you to trip. Not because they hate you openly, but because your rise makes them uncomfortable. Your growth convicts their stagnation. Your favor reminds them of prayers they stopped praying. Your discipline exposes the places they keep excusing. So they watch, they analyze, they measure, they form opinions in secret, then act neutral in public. That double life is real. And yet, chosen one, hears the twist. Some of the eyes watching you are also drawn to you. Not in a pure way, not always in a mature way, but in a way they can't explain. Your peace feels like a language they forgot. Your strength feels like a mirror they don't want to look into. Your presence makes them aware of what's missing in their spirit. So they keep watching, hoping to understand the source of what you carry. That's why you must guard your heart, because attention is not always honor, and curiosity is not always love. Now I want to bring this back to the financial breakthrough God has been whispering over you. When a divine transfer is approaching, the Spirit often exposes two things at once: your access points and your assignments. Access points are the people, habits, and patterns that can leak your energy. Assignments are the instructions you must follow to receive what God is releasing. This is why you've felt nudges to change your routine, to be quieter, to post less, to share less, to move in silence. It's not because you're scared, it's because you're being prepared. Some blessings don't need an announcement. They need protection. I know that sounds intense, but it's real. I've watched people talk themselves out of miracles by oversharing with the wrong ears. They told everyone their next move, and suddenly that move got polluted by opinions, jealousy, and spiritual interference. Not because the blessing wasn't real, but because the covering was weak. Chosen one, you're not in that season anymore. You're learning to keep holy things holy. And here's another truth: when your breakthrough is near, God will often place you in situations that stretch your discernment. You'll feel pressure to respond to bait, pressure to prove yourself, pressure to clap back, pressure to explain. But spiritual maturity is knowing when silence is your shield. Sometimes the loudest victory is restraint. I want you to picture this. You're walking into a room carrying oil. People smell it before you speak. The oil irritates some and attracts others. But either way, they notice. And because they notice, they watch. But you don't owe them an explanation for what God placed on you. Chosen one, let them watch. Let them wonder. Let them whisper. Because while they're analyzing your steps, heaven is arranging your upgrade. While they're discussing your name, God is signing your promotion. While they're trying to figure out how you keep rising, the answer is simple grace. So here's your instruction for this part: stay clean, stay calm, stay focused. Don't feed the storm with your emotions. Don't leak your peace into people who never valued it. And don't mistake the eyes on you as a threat. Sometimes it's proof that the shift is undeniable. Chosen one. There is a delicate balance. God is teaching you right now how to see clearly without becoming hardened, how to discern truth without letting suspicion poison your spirit. This is important because when hidden motives are exposed, the greatest danger is not betrayal itself, but what betrayal tries to turn you into. You may have noticed something shifting in how you perceive people lately. Conversations feel different. Compliments feel layered. Silence feels louder than words. You can sense when something is off, even if nothing obvious has been said. That is not paranoia. That is spiritual maturity awakening. Discernment doesn't scream, it whispers. And right now, your spirit has been tuned to a higher frequency. Anointed one. Some of the people watching you do not fully understand why they are drawn to you. They feel the pull, but they haven't healed the insecurity that comes with it. So admiration and comparison begin to mix. Respect and resentment start sharing the same space. This is where confusion is born, not in you, but in them. And confusion, when left unchecked, turns into strange behavior. I want to be honest with you because I've walked through this myself. There were seasons when someone close to me didn't speak against me openly, but they also never defended me. They watched. They asked questions about my life under the guise of care. They repeated my words with concern attached to them. At first, I ignored the discomfort because I didn't want to seem ungrateful or dramatic. But later, I realized something powerful. God will always warn you before He reveals. That subtle unease you've been feeling is not meant to make you fearful. It's meant to make you wise. Chosen one, here is the key. You are not being called to confront. You are being called to observe. This is not a season for accusations or emotional reactions. It is a season for stillness and clarity. God is separating truth from noise for you, not by giving you all the answers at once, but by letting patterns speak over time. People reveal themselves eventually, not through one mistake, but through consistency, through how they react when you succeed, through how they respond when others praise you, through whether your joy makes them uncomfortable or inspired, through whether your silence unsettles them. You don't need to interrogate anyone. Life will do that work for you. And here's something the Spirit wants you to understand deeply. When God is about to elevate you, He often allows relational tension, not to punish you, but to loosen your grip. Some connections cannot go where you're going, not because they are evil, but because they are unprepared. And God loves you too much to let familiarity delay destiny. This is also why your heart has been tested lately. You've been tempted to withdraw completely, to shut down emotionally, to trust no one. But that is not the assignment. Discernment is not isolation. Wisdom is not bitterness. God is teaching you how to remain open without being exposed, loving without oversharing, kind without being careless, present without being accessible to everyone, anointed one. This is the posture of someone being prepared for greater responsibility, greater provision, greater influence, greater financial stewardship. You cannot carry increase with a fractured spirit. You cannot manage overflow while constantly explaining yourself to people who don't have the capacity to celebrate you. And yes, what's coming includes provision. Not just money, but stability. Not just resources, but authority. The kind of breakthrough where you no longer feel like you're scrambling but standing, where bills no longer create panic, where generosity becomes natural instead of stressful, where your hands are no longer tight but open. That kind of shift requires emotional maturity as much as faith. This is why God is refining you quietly, teaching you to listen more than you speak, teaching you to pause before reacting, teaching you that you don't need closure from everyone to move forward. Sometimes clarity comes not through explanation, but through distance. Chosen one, if you've been feeling the urge to clean things up, your circle, your habits, your environment, that's alignment. If you've been feeling drawn to silence prayer or early mornings, that's preparation. If you've felt moments of loneliness, even while surrounded by people, that's transition. You are leaving one season and entering another, and there is always a narrow bridge between the two. Let me speak peace over you here. You are not losing people. You are gaining discernment. You are not becoming cold. You are becoming clear. You are not being watched because you are weak. You are being watched because something on your life is undeniable. So don't rush the process. Don't force revelations. Don't demand explanations. Let God unfold truth in His timing. Let wisdom protect your heart. Let peace be your evidence. And above all, remain anchored in humility. Power without humility attracts chaos. Favor without grounding attracts envy. But when you walk softly while carrying weight, heaven defends you. Chosen one, stay steady. What's unfolding is working for you, not against you. Chosen one, there comes a moment in every calling when God shifts you from being hidden to being handled carefully. Not by people, but by Him. And this moment often feels strange because externally it looks quiet, but internally it feels intense. You're not doing more, yet more is happening. You're not forcing doors, yet doors are loosening. This is the tension of transition. Anointed One. What you're walking through right now is not exposure for spectacle, it's exposure for stewardship. God does not reveal what he does not intend to trust. And the reason heaven has allowed eyes to notice you is because you are about to be entrusted with something heavier than before. Increase always requires inspection first. That's why this season has felt slower than you expected. You thought by now things would have exploded forward. But instead, it feels like God pressed pause not to delay you, but to stabilize you. He's been adjusting your posture, teaching you how to carry weight without arrogance, teaching you how to receive without guilt, teaching you how to be visible without becoming vulnerable to manipulation. I want you to hear this clearly, chosen one. Not everyone watching you wants access to you, but some want proximity to what you're about to receive. And God in His mercy is teaching you how to tell the difference. You've likely noticed people asking questions that feel unnecessary, curiosity that doesn't quite feel pure, interest that seems timed with your growth. That's not random. But here's the instruction: you are not required to explain your process to anyone who didn't walk with you through the pain. You don't owe context to observers. You owe obedience to God. This is where maturity is forged. I remember a time when I mistook attention for alignment. I thought because someone was watching closely they cared deeply. But later I learned some people watch not because they want to help, but because they want to predict. They want to know your next move before it happens, so they can position themselves emotionally, socially, or spiritually around it. That's not partnership, that's surveillance. Chosen one. God is cutting that off gently but firmly. This is also why you felt drawn to simplify, to declutter conversations, to reduce noise, to focus more on discipline than drama. That's not you becoming distant, that's you becoming discerning. The more you are entrusted with, the less room there is for confusion. And yes, this ties directly into the financial and spiritual breakthrough approaching you, because money, influence, and favor amplify whatever foundation they land on. If your foundation is shaky, increase becomes pressure. But if your foundation is secure, increase becomes flow. God is ensuring that when the transfer happens, it doesn't overwhelm you, it stabilizes you. This is why He's been strengthening your inner life, teaching you to respond instead of react, teaching you to pray before you post, teaching you to listen before you speak, teaching you that you don't need to announce every blessing for it to be real. Chosen one. Some of your biggest breakthroughs will happen quietly. No applause, no validation, just peace. And peace is a sign of alignment. You may not see it yet, but heaven is already rearranging systems around you. Conversations are happening without your involvement. Decisions are being influenced in rooms you haven't entered. Opportunities are being preserved until your character matches the capacity. This is not delay, this is divine timing. And I need to say this gently but truthfully. Not everyone watching you will get to come with you. Some will remain spectators to what could have been partnership. And that's okay. Everyone has a role. Not everyone is meant to walk on stage. Some are meant to witness. Do not feel guilty for outgrowing environments that no longer stretch you. Do not apologize for choosing peace over proximity. Do not minimize your calling to maintain comfort. What God is building in you requires space. Chosen one. If you've been feeling the urge to protect your energy more intentionally, honor it. If you've been feeling called to pray differently, to give differently, to think differently, follow it. Obedience in this season will unlock acceleration in the next. And let me remind you of this: God does not need your help to expose truth. You don't have to point fingers. You don't have to defend yourself. Truth has weight, it surfaces on its own. Stay clean, stay kind, stay grounded. Heaven handles the rest. What you are becoming will explain everything. Chosen one, there is a sacred moment that comes just before elevation, a moment where God asks you to trust Him with what you cannot yet see. This is that moment. You may feel like you're walking by faith more than ever, taking steps without full confirmation, sensing movement without evidence. That's not confusion. That's preparation. Anointed one, when heaven prepares a transfer, whether it's financial, positional, or spiritual, it often requires you to release control before you receive clarity. That's why you've been feeling stretched in your faith. Why your prayers have become quieter but deeper. Why you're less interested in convincing people and more committed to obeying God. Your spirit knows something is shifting, even if your circumstances haven't caught up yet. Let me ground this in real life for a moment. There were seasons when I had to keep showing up without applause, paying attention to details no one noticed, being faithful in spaces that felt temporary, doing the right thing even when it didn't seem to matter. And then suddenly, what felt like small obedience became the foundation for a door I didn't even knock on. That's how God works. He builds quietly, then moves decisively. Chosen one, the eyes watching you don't know the full story. They don't see the nights you stayed disciplined when it would have been easier to quit. They don't see the prayers you whispered when you were tired of asking. They don't see the integrity choices you made when no one would have blamed you for cutting corners. But heaven sees all of it, and heaven keeps records. This is why you're being positioned, not rushed. God is aligning timing, resources, and relationships in a way that protects you from regret. He's ensuring that when the increase arrives, you'll know how to manage it without losing yourself. Because overflow without wisdom creates chaos. But overflow with clarity creates legacy. Anointed one. Your financial breakthrough will not come from striving. It will come from alignment. From being in the right place with the right posture at the right time. From stewardship before surplus. From faithfulness before favor. You're learning to handle money, influence, and opportunity with clean hands and a clear heart. That's rare, and that's why it's valuable. You may also notice something else happening. Your tolerance for disorder is decreasing. You don't enjoy drama like you used to. You don't chase conversations that drain you. You don't feel the need to explain your choices. That's growth. When your spirit matures, chaos loses its appeal. And when chaos loses access, peace takes over. Chosen one. This is important. Peace is not passive. Peace is power under control. It's the confidence that God is working even when you're not reacting. It's the strength to say no without guilt and yes without fear. It's knowing that what's meant for you cannot miss you. Some of the people watching you are waiting for a signal, waiting to see if you'll panic, compromise, or break. But you won't. Because you're learning to anchor yourself in truth, not approval. You're learning that silence can be strategic, that patience can be prophetic, that consistency can be louder than announcements. Anointed one, heaven is not asking you to impress anyone. Heaven is asking you to remain faithful, to keep your heart soft, to keep your hands clean, to keep your focus clear. Because when the door opens you'll walk through it without scrambling, without fear, without apology. I want you to receive this. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not missing anything. You are exactly where you need to be for what's coming next. God's timing is not about speed, it's about precision, and precision requires patience, so continue to do the ordinary things with extraordinary integrity. Show up, pray, listen, rest when needed, work when called, give when prompted, hold back when instructed. These small obediences are building momentum you cannot yet measure. Chosen one, let the watchers watch. Let the whispers fade. Let the tension dissolve. Your future is not decided by opinions, it's secured by obedience. And what God is about to release will speak for itself. Stay grounded, stay grateful, stay aligned. Chosen one. There is a moment when faith stops being theoretical and becomes embodied. You don't just believe anymore, you move differently. You breathe differently. You respond differently. And people can feel that shift even if they don't know how to name it. That's why the eyes haven't gone away. They've intensified, because what you're carrying now has weight. Anointed one. You are no longer in the phase of becoming aware, you are in the phase of becoming responsible. God doesn't increase revelation without increasing accountability. And right now, heaven is training you to carry blessing without leaking it through fear, impatience, or unnecessary exposure. You may have noticed how quickly your energy drains in certain spaces now. Conversations that once felt normal suddenly feel heavy. Jokes that once made you laugh now feel hollow. That's not you being difficult. That's alignment sharpening your sensitivity. When God prepares you for elevation, He also refines your tolerance. Let me speak from experience here. There were times I thought something was wrong with me because I didn't enjoy the same environments anymore. I felt guilty for needing more silence, more structure, more distance. But later, I realized nothing was wrong. I was just being upgraded internally before anything changed externally. My spirit was being stretched to hold more. Chosen one. This is what's happening to you. Your spirit is being trained to steward increase. And increase isn't just money, it's responsibility, visibility, influence, and decision-making power. God is ensuring that when the transfer happens, it doesn't confuse you, because confusion causes people to mishandle blessings, but clarity multiplies them. This is also why you're being tested in subtle ways, not dramatic trials, but quiet choices. Do you react or pause? Do you explain or stay silent? Do you seek validation or remain anchored? These small moments are shaping how much heaven can trust you with. And yes, people are watching those moments too. Some are watching to learn. Some are watching to compare. Some are watching to see if you'll fall back into old patterns. But here's the truth. Their watching is no longer your concern. God's watching is. Chosen one, when God watches you now, He's not looking for perfection. He's looking for posture. Is your heart still teachable? Is your spirit still surrendered? Are you still willing to obey, even when obedience feels inconvenient? Because what's coming requires humility as much as confidence. There's a level of financial peace God is preparing you for where money no longer dictates your emotions, where you're no longer reactive to lack or impulsive with abundance, where generosity flows without pressure, where provision feels stable instead of fragile. That doesn't happen overnight. It's learned. And you're learning it now. You're also learning how to walk without needing everyone's approval. That's critical, because influence without independence becomes bondage. God is freeing you from people-pleasing so you can lead with integrity. Anointed one. This is why certain relationships have felt strained, not because you did something wrong, but because you stopped shrinking. When you stop explaining yourself, insecure, people feel exposed. When you stop chasing validation, manipulative dynamics lose power. And when you stop reacting, truth has room to surface. Let it. You don't need to force anything. You don't need to confront anyone. You don't need to rush resolution. God is working through time, not tension. What's meant to be revealed will be revealed. What's meant to fall away will fall away. Your job is to stay centered. I want you to notice something important. You're calmer than you used to be. Even when things feel uncertain, there's a quiet steadiness in you now. That's not numbness, that's trust growing roots. Chosen one. Trust is not passive, it's active rest. It's choosing peace even when you could worry. It's choosing obedience even when you don't see the outcome yet. It's choosing faithfulness over familiarity. And here's the part that may surprise you. Some of the watchers will eventually respect you more because you didn't react. They may never admit it. But restraint commands authority. Silence carries weight. Consistency builds credibility. You're becoming someone whose presence speaks before your words do. So stay attentive to God's nudges. Protect your mornings. Guard your thoughts. Be mindful of where you pour your energy. Not everything needs your input. Not everyone needs access. Not every opportunity needs a yes. Chosen one, what God is building through you will outlast opinions. What He's preparing you for will make sense of this entire season. And when the shift becomes visible, when provision stabilizes, when doors open, when favor settles, you'll realize this wasn't pressure. It was preparation. Stay steady. Stay surrendered. Heaven is not finished. Chosen one. There is a sacred moment when preparation quietly turns into positioning. Nothing dramatic announces it, no trumpet sounds, but something inside you settles. You stop asking when and start moving as if it's already on the way. That shift matters more than you realize because heaven responds to posture faster than it responds to pressure. Anointed one. What you're feeling now is not impatience, it's readiness. Readiness looks like restraint. It looks like discernment. It looks like being able to sit in silence without needing reassurance. And this is why the atmosphere around you has changed. You are no longer vibrating with desperation. You're resonating with stability. People feel that. Spirits recognize it. Systems respond to it. This is also why the watching has changed in tone. It's not just curiosity anymore, it's evaluation. Some are trying to understand how you stayed steady when others would have cracked, how you didn't collapse when things slowed, how you didn't become bitter when clarity took time. They are studying the fruit, not realizing the root runs deep. Chosen one. Hear this carefully. The blessing God is preparing will not require you to chase it. It will find you in motion, not in panic. That's how divine order works. God doesn't reward noise. He rewards alignment, and alignment creates a gravity that pulls what's assigned to you into your orbit. I want to speak to the financial side directly now because this is where many people lose faith quietly. You may not see numbers changing yet, but something more important has already shifted your relationship with provision. You're no longer operating from fear. You're no longer obsessed with outcomes. You're learning how to trust God daily, not just when things are tight. That is a breakthrough. There was a time when I believed financial freedom would feel loud, like relief, excitement, celebration. But when it came, it felt calm, it felt grounded, it felt like exhaling after holding my breath for years. And that calm is what God is forming in you now, because sustained abundance requires a steady spirit. Chosen one, abundance without steadiness creates anxiety. But abundance with steadiness creates generosity, creativity, and longevity. God is far more interested in how long you can hold a blessing than how fast you receive it. This is why He's been teaching you patience in unseen places, teaching you consistency when no one claps, teaching you integrity when shortcuts were available, teaching you discipline when distractions were loud. These weren't random lessons, they were rehearsals. Anointed One. Some of the eyes watching you are beginning to realize they underestimated the process. They thought you were lucky. They thought things just worked out for you. But now they're noticing something else. You're not rushing. You're not scrambling. You're not reacting. And that confuses people who move only when they feel threatened. Your stillness is speaking. There's also a deeper layer to this season. God is teaching you how to carry favor without announcing it, how to walk into rooms without needing recognition, how to receive quietly and steward privately. This is protection, not restriction. Some blessings attract unnecessary interference when exposed too early. You're learning to let fruit speak, chosen one. The reason this matters is because what's coming is not just for you. It will affect others. Your stability will become shelter. Your clarity will become counsel. Your overflow will become provision beyond yourself. And God will not allow that kind of influence to be built on shaky ground. This is why He's been anchoring you so deeply. I want you to notice something else. You're no longer offended the way you used to be. Comments roll off. Opinions don't stick. Silence doesn't scare you. That's not emotional distance. That's authority settling in. When you know who you are, you don't need to defend it. Chosen one. This is what mature faith looks like. Not loud declarations, but quiet confidence. Not constant movement, but intentional steps. Not chasing signs, but recognizing alignment. And here's a truth many won't tell you. When you reach this stage, some people will misinterpret your calm as arrogance, your boundaries as coldness, your silence as secrecy. Let them. Clarity is not cruelty. Boundaries are not betrayal. Growth will always offend those who benefited from your previous limits. You are not responsible for managing how others interpret your obedience. Anointed One. You are entering a season where doors open because you are ready, not because you force them. Where resources align because you are trustworthy, not because you demanded them. Where favor rests because your spirit can carry it without distortion. This is why heaven has been quiet lately. Silence is not absence. Silence is precision. So remain faithful in the unseen. Remain disciplined in the ordinary. Remain grateful in the waiting. Because what God is preparing will arrive without strain, without chaos, without regret. And when it does, you will recognize it, not by excitement, but by peace. Stay steady, chosen one. You are exactly where you need to be, chosen one. There is a quiet certainty settling into your spirit now, and it did not come from people confirming you. It came from alignment. It came from obedience repeated when no one was watching. It came from choosing truth when shortcuts were available. This is the moment when you stop asking for signs and start recognizing patterns, because God has been consistent with you even when life felt inconsistent. Anointed One. The eyes watching you are no longer shaping your behavior. They are revealing your growth. There was a time when being observed made you tense, made you question yourself, made you rehearse explanations in your head. But now something has changed. You are no longer trying to control perception. You are anchored. And anchoring is what allows increase to settle without shaking the foundation. This is why God has been strengthening your inner world more than your outer one. He has been teaching you how to remain steady when information is incomplete, how to stay faithful when affirmation is absent, how to trust His timing without forcing outcomes. These are not small lessons. These are the exact qualities required to sustain blessing. Chosen one. The transfer approaching you is not just financial. It is positional, it is relational, it is spiritual. You are stepping into a season where your decisions carry weight, where your presence influences atmosphere, where your words land differently. And God is making sure your spirit is ready before your circumstances change. I want to ground this in something real. There were times when I thought breakthrough would announce itself loudly with excitement and visible reward. But when it finally came, it arrived quietly, almost gently, like peace settling into a room that had known chaos. That peace was the confirmation. That peace was the evidence that God had done the work properly. Chosen one, you are being prepared for that kind of arrival. Not rushed, not chaotic, not unstable. What's coming will not demand frantic adjustment. It will fit. It will align. It will make sense of the waiting. This is also why certain voices have grown distant, why some connections have faded without confrontation, why some conversations no longer resonate. God is reducing noise so you can hear instruction clearly. Not everything leaves in a dramatic way. Some things simply expire. You may notice that you are less reactive now, less drawn to prove yourself, less tempted to correct misunderstandings. That is not apathy. That is maturity. When your identity is rooted, misunderstanding loses power. Chosen one, continue to move with integrity. Continue to choose patience over pressure. Continue to steward peace like something sacred, because what God is entrusting to you will require clarity more than speed. The watchers will eventually understand, but they are not the priority. Obedience is, alignment is, faithfulness is. And when the next door opens, you will walk through it calmly, not because you were desperate, but because you were ready. That readiness is your reward. Remain humble, remain teachable, remain present. Let gratitude guard your heart and discipline guide your steps. What is unfolding will not require explanation, only stewardship. You will recognize the moment not by noise, but by peace, settling fully inside you, steady and unshakable. This season honors patience, clarity, obedience, and trust. Chosen one. As this moment draws to a close, receive this truth. You are not just being watched, you are being elevated. The heavens have aligned your steps, and a supernatural transfer is already in motion. Your faithfulness, your patience, your obedience have positioned you precisely in your Kairos moment, your divinely appointed time. Every blessing, every confirmation, every shift that has been whispered over your life is converging now. Anointed one, stand firm. Let peace anchor you. Let clarity guide you. Do not waver in the face of observation, criticism, or the hidden schemes of men. What God has prepared for you cannot be hindered. Your spirit, your destiny, your breakthrough is being established. Walk forward with confidence, with gratitude, and with holy boldness. Let every gaze, every whisper, every unseen hand in the spiritual realm affirm that you are chosen, that you are marked, and that nothing can stop what heaven has decreed. Comment, share, and testify of this moment so others may witness the power of God moving through a faithful life. Go in peace, go in favor, go in alignment with your anointing. Amen.